I want to complete as much of RuneScape as humanly possible from scratch. Last video I got 99 rune crafting through Guardians of the Rift. I made a ton of money, got a whole bunch of collection logs, multiple sets of the skilling outfit to obtain every variant for my POH, and started the next big AFK goal of fishing 1,000,000 Karambwans. In this video I'll be taking on the Inferno. I've beat this before on my other maxed account, but that was a long time ago. Since then I've beat the Inferno dozens of times on leagues whilst hunting the pet there, but I'm not really going to count that as real experience. Back when I did it on my old account though, I heavily relied on Justicia and a Saradome and Godsword to get me through all of the waves. That was quite a few years ago now, but even back then those were considered noob traps. In the successful run that I had, I was basically AFK watching movies and waiting for my SGS to restore spec. So my PB on that account is over 6 hours. Back then I was also using a twisted bow. This time round though, I'm going to be running the Inferno without any of those. I started out with buying some equipment that I was missing, being a Kodai wand, Ring of the Gods, Guardian boots and an Echo crystal, alongside a bunch of the new prayer regeneration potions. Combining the Guardian boots with the crystal creates the Echo boots. These do have an inbuilt recoil effect, but I'm mainly just using them for how tanky they are and their +4 prayer bonus. I'll actually be turning off the recoil effects, otherwise I'll likely have to buy another crystal. I chose the Kodai because I'm looking for magic damage. I'm not going to have any issues with accuracy in the setup, and I also don't need to regenerate prayer through something like the Eldritch either. I'd rather just have the extra damage to finish off the nibblers. I'll show the rest of my setup in just a moment, but if you're thinking of trying out the Inferno yourself and you just want to copy my setup, then do make sure you imbue the Ring of the Gods. This doubles the prayer bonus, but it will also act as a holy wrench too, which gives an extra prayer point per dose of restore. Alright, so let's have a look at the full setup because I know a few of you are going to be curious. I'm bringing in 8 brews, so that's really the maximum that you should be bringing in as far as I know. And the biggest update since I was here last time is those prayer regeneration potions. These restore a prayer point every 12 ticks for 8 minutes. Which essentially just means each full potion is worth 264 prayer points, which is over double what a super restore is at 99 prayer. Every day I can also use the Falador Elite Shield, which restores my entire prayer back to 99 twice a day, making that slightly better than a restore as well, although I can only realistically use this once a day. And all of that being said, I can basically camp overheads for the vast majority of the run. I've also got 2 bastions for the later waves, triples and Zuk, alongside a stamina just in case I need it. The rune pouch is basically blood and ice barrage, and for the actual gear it's full crystal, assembler, barrow's gloves and the items that I bought earlier. I've got the occult and avertis top for extra mage damage as well. And the crystal shield is really only going to be used on waves 50 onwards when I have to deal with both the major and the ranger. The only other upgrade I could realistically get right now is Zarite Vambraces for around 85 mil, but I'm just going to be sticking with the Barrow's Gloves. I'm not going to turn this video into a guide though, I just kind of want to show the progress. I'm thinking that maybe I'll put together a tips and a tricks video with all of the most useful info soon, so if you're interested in that then let me know and check you're subscribed. Before I can even enter the Inferno, I gotta sacrifice the Fire Cape. Luckily it's just 1 cape for permanent access, and now it's time to jump in for the first attempt. I knew I'd be rusty simply because I've mostly been on the maxing grind and not PVMing much at all recently, but man, it was rough. I gotta warm up those clicks somehow though, and the first attempt came in at wave 38. I was praying ranged at the start of a major wave, not my finest moment, but you gotta start again somewhere. In these first few attempts, I'm drinking brews and restores as much as I need to as well. I'm not really expecting to get to Zuk, so I'm just trying to get in as much practice as possible. Also, for the first couple of runs I was bringing in a Virtus bottom, but I soon switched that out after a couple of runs. Anyway, the second attempt went slightly better. I was praying correctly at the start of the waves, but I kind of forgot to use that crystal shield as soon as I was hitting wave 50. So that nuked the supplies and my health. But second attempt in wave 53, that's not too bad. That was day 1 finished for me, and it felt like pretty good progress. I decided to end the day by getting my fire cape back. Day 2 now, and I've made it all the way to wave 60. Fuck. I gambled. Wave 60. Oh, god damn it. I was like, nah, he might scratch me a 20, and the major was almost dead. But wave 60, third attempt. Mostly happy with that. I think I did better on supplies and stuff. It was just a couple of mistakes in the later waves that destroyed me. Yeah, I won't be showing all of the deaths and attempts in the waves, otherwise this video would be much longer than it needs to be. That said, on the same day I had one of the best runs so far. I had a really lucky spawn on wave 63, which is known as one of the worst hell waves. You have 2 blobs, a ranger, a major, and a melee. Luckily, almost everything spawned behind my north pillar, so I could stack them really easily. I cleared the next couple of waves without too much of an issue as well, and so I made it all the way to Jets. Okay, Jets. First time at Jets on this account. If I die to single Jed, career over. I'm way more nervous than I thought I would be. But yeah, let's log out, go calm down, take a 5-minute break, and come back. Okay, so before I do log back in, one benefit of having beaten the Inferno before on a different account is that I could log onto that account and then come to this guy and then do triples and practice them. For those who don't know, this is my old max main account that I abandoned to start the completionist account. It's currently doing easy clues on the side. Just like a bonus video way into the future. But yeah, I am just gonna practice some triples and see how I get on, just to get a feel for it, you know? I do miss my bloodhound pet. Oh, I don't actually want to attack them. What am I doing? I guess I do want to attack them on my other account. I don't want to just be stood here switching prayers on my other account. that would not go well. Okay, basically out of prayer now, so gonna die. Despite getting hit, I feel pretty confident. After that practice session, I logged back in on the completionist account. I took down the single Jed without too much of an issue. I should really be using a safe spot tile for the healers. You can stand on a southwest tile and only get hit by a single healer at a time, but I was feeling a little nervous and forgot, so that's -1 brew. After that single Jad, it was time for triples. These guys do look a little intimidating for sure, but if you're even somewhat confident with Jad, this isn't really much of an issue. It's basically just sped up attacks, and as long as you're brewed and have full prayer, you just watch for the attacks and then tag healers when you can. It also gets significantly easier once you kill the first one too. I did get smacked around a little more by the healers though, so I lost some more brew doses. And one thing I should really learn is running through the Jads to trap the healers. But again, I was too nervous to even attempt that, so now it's time for Zuk, which is the real test of nerves, and is the only thing left standing between me and the Inferno cape. I'm actually really happy with how well I did on the first Zuk attempt on this account. I dealt with the sets fairly well. I didn't have to tank much damage from the Ranger, which is what normally kills me. And one thing I did immediately notice is that whilst the Boffer is a decent weapon for Zuk, it feels so much weaker than a T-bow here, which means that more sets are likely to spawn. I carried on following the shield, bringing his health lower and lower to the point where Jad spawns. And again, this looks way more difficult than it actually is. All you have to do is wait for Zuk to hit the shield, and then you move on to the next safe spot, whilst praying and attacking Jad. After that, it's just a case of getting Zuk's health down again. Anything below 240 HP will start to spawn as healers. Personally, I don't use set timers, but as you're gonna see throughout this video, I really should. So, the healers come out and I'm doing mostly okay. I'm feeling incredibly nervous, as you can imagine, and just as I feel like I'm getting the hang of it, I step a couple of tiles out too far in front of the shield, but luckily I only get punished by a 74 by Zuk. That said, it was enough to completely throw me off balance, and what made it worse is that the set then spawned. At this point, my brain started to shut down, I started panic brewing, I didn't know whether to keep hitting healers and let the set damage the shield, I just lost focus entirely, basically. I should have waited for the spawns before I did that. Ah, that was so close though. Healers, man. Got to healers. Oh man, that was dumb. I should have waited for the spawn because I knew it was kind of a slow set at the start. I knew it was slow getting to 600, so I knew I should have waited for another set, but I just sent it, and then, yeah. I could have just waited for a set, killed it, and then I might have been okay. Yeah, I did still have 1 dose restore, which isn't great, so I need to be better at conserving prayer. But I am done for today. I am going to send more tomorrow. Day 3 didn't go great either. I had a couple of deaths in the waves, and my biggest mistake that I made last time I was doing Inferno was that I would immediately jump straight back in after a death. Which, for me at least, is not a great way to go about it, because I normally do even worse. So, this time round, I made sure to take breaks between each run. Day 4 and I managed to get back to Zuk. I had less supplies this time though, and took some nasty hits from the first ranger set. I recovered though, and I managed to take Jad down. I waited out the second set this time, and whilst I did take some damage from the second ranger, it wasn't too bad. So I started prepping myself for the healers. For some silly reason, I decided that I'd kill the major. And this is what got me killed. I tried to hit it from the right hand side, I got dragged out and took a nasty 100 straight to the head. The worst part is that I didn't even need to kill the major. I could have just started taking healers down with Prey Mage up. But that's the way she goes. I took a little break, I rewatched the deaths I had so far and started focusing on the next attempt. I had some great spawns throughout the waves, and so I was really looking good on supplies. Triple Jads also went well, as did most of the Zuk fight. I got to healers once again and just ignored the major this time. However, something you really have to be careful of is maintaining DPS against these healers. Watching myself back, I see that I'm not really getting enough attacks in whilst blowpipe walking, and so they started to rinse my health. I also wasn't taking advantage of standing on the very edges of the map. These spots allow you to take less damage from the healers and give you a little bit of breathing room to heal up. Also, every time I brewed, my stats were going down. I wasn't restoring at the right time and I misclicked my Bastion pop, so I wasn't doing much damage and only taking more myself, which ended up with me spawning back outside. Day 5. Things were going really well. Maybe a little too well, because I got a little overconfident and greedy, thinking that a melee wouldn't possibly do any damage whatsoever whilst on wave 64. Not my finest moment either. Although after drinking a coffee and turning my brain back on, I managed to get to Zuk again. However, just like day 4, everything was looking good, but I choked on healers. I did a little better, but I was brewing myself down too much, and to top it all off, a set spawned, and I was wiped out. Day 6. This was probably my best attempt so far. The healers went fairly smoothly, and I managed to take them all out. The only issue is that it took long enough for a set to spawn immediately after. And so whilst trying to tag the major, I fell a little bit behind the shield and took a hit from Zuk, which is what got me. If I had just another 15 seconds or so after the healers, I could have maybe brewed up again and maybe I could have done it. Day 7. Every day so far I've been making a little more progress each time. Sure, I've died a couple of times in the waves in between, but I'm mostly on an upwards trajectory. However, this is where I experienced a dip. and I was taken out simply for not brewing whilst tanking a ranger set. I didn't even get to Zuk on day 8, and when I did on day 9, the exact same thing happened. But I wasn't gonna let it stop me. I've done this before, and I'm so close to doing it again with a Bofa this time. So, day 10, I jumped in for another attempt, the waves were looking good, I even managed to keep all of my pillars intact. I did get smacked around on the single jet by his healers and I lost a brew, but then came the triple jets, and again, everything went quite smooth, so I moved on to Zuk once again. Alright, what am I gonna die to this time, huh? What am I gonna die to this time? Let's find out. Ranger side again. Okay, that was really bad, but I'm still alive. I mean, I barely got any breeze anyway, so I think I'm just gonna have to send it and hope that our set doesn't spawn. Because, I mean... yeah. Oh, hello. Just in time, actually. Okay. I guess let's heal first. I got a brew here. Oh my god, I'm shaking now. That's it. Come on. No. Come on, the fucking Hail Mary, please. You beauty. You beauty. Come on. Stay with the shield. I'm shaking. I'm shaking. I don't even care. Come on. Come on. Fucking yes, man. Yes. And I kept all 3 pillars up that time as well. I'm pretty sure I did. Holy fuck. Finally. I normally don't swear in my videos, but I have had such a horrible time. A horrible time. And I'm so happy to have that finally done. I got to Zuk on my 3rd attempt. I got to Zuk like back to back quite a few times. And then I had just 2 or 3 days where I was just like stuck in the mud. Like my confidence was just plummeting. And then I just had some back-to-back Zuks there where the ranger just completely screwed me. And finally, I get some luck on my side and I get it done. I had barely any supplies. I used up all my brews. I had like 7 HP. I don't care. I do not care. I am so happy to have that done. I am moving on to better things now. I feel so happy. Genuinely so happy. I don't even know what to say. I'm just pure like adrenaline. I'm so happy to have that finally done. It's just like a sense of relief like washing over me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh yeah, what was the time? What was the time? I didn't even... It was a horrible time, but... Beat my old PB by 4 hours. Oh dear, man. Alright, I can finally start doing something else now. Get me out of here. Get me the hell out of here. So I've had a few people tell me now that they like to fall asleep whilst watching my videos. So if you're one of those people, good morning. I just beat the Inferno. If you've beat this yourself, you know what the feeling is like. I beat this so long ago that it felt like I had to relearn the entire thing again, and doing it with a Bofo was so much harder this time. But I didn't need to rely on Justicia at all, and I could easily heal up on every wave with Blood Barrage if I needed to. Plus the new prayer regen pots are incredible, and it just eliminates the need for an SGS entirely. I am not the best PVMer in the game. Anyone who has raided with me knows that, but you have to start somewhere, and eventually I'm gonna have a Grandmaster Helm as well as the Zuk belt. I'm still waiting on the Slayer update that's coming into the game, but once it does, I think I'll be trying out some Inferno on task as well as taking advantage of the Slayer Helm damage bonus on the future pet grind. Now, of course, Inferno wasn't the only thing I've been up to. I got some combat achievements during our court mess with the Saints. Unfortunately, we didn't see any sigils this time. I also got a completely unexpected collection log slot whilst waiting for Tara to pick up a fishing skill cape after she got 99. No way! No way! I knew that was gonna happen! I was just insta-killing goblins with the golden tench for Tara's 99 party. Oh, and I get the Goblin Champion scroll. Hell yeah. I didn't know the Golden Tenture is so good. Oh my god. So yeah, that was a nice one to get. I'm sure I'll get a ton more of those when I start the Bandos grind in the future. And since the last video, me and Tara also got married. We ended up taking a little longer of a break from RuneScape than I had planned, so that's why this video took a little longer. But unless something gets in the way, I should have a video up every 2 weeks now. Fingers crossed at least. I've also made a ton of progress on my new AFK goal of catching 1,000,000 Karambwans, and I actually ended up getting some duplicate pets. Okay, I had to get my mic. I realized, but I was blasting music. I had to stop the music and get my microphone. Damn, I think that's the third one. Let me see. Yep, number 3. There's the third heron. 25.3. Hell yeah. Oh, another heron. Almost 30 million XP. I'm actually here in between Inferno rounds because I've had not much success today, so that's kind of cheered me up. Almost 30 million XP. Shortly after that last heron, I did hit the 30 million XP milestone, and a little while later I got yet another heron pet. Unfortunately, I didn't get a clip for this one, but luckily for me, RuneLite automatically takes screenshots. So I now have 5 herons in total so far. And just as a reminder, the whole reason I'm doing this is because I want to bank 200 million cucking XP. And want it cuck the Karambwans for a load of money at the same time. I'm likely going to end on around 63 to 64 million fishing XP as well. It's not an exact number simply because I have a chance to catch extras with the Rudder Blessing. I'll show how many Karambwans I have so far in a couple of minutes, because I also got another duplicate pet through my farm runs shortly after hitting 80 million XP. Oh wow, I am actually recording. Alright, just got the third Tangle Root pet. Just over 80 million farming XP. We're almost halfway to 200 million. And only 3 farming pets. That's kind of I don't know if that's good or bad. On my old maxed account, I'm at like 30 million farming XP without the pet. So I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of dry, but I don't know what like the normal XP per pet is. Like, is it like 20 million, 25 million? I don't know, but there's the third one. So let's have a look at the loot tab first. I'm still doing the herb runs, so that's where the vast amount of the value comes from. I've also started to buy daily battle staffs with my farm runs because I have the Varrock Elite Diary done now, so it's a little bit of extra profit per day. I claimed my kingdom too, so that's why there's a bunch of bird nests and seeds. And then all of the other miscellaneous seeds have come from Hesperia as well. I'm close to getting 450 kill count there. After selling the loot tab, I ended up with 191 mil. Now that sounds like quite a lot, but a good chunk of that was my previous cash stack, which I spent on the staffs to begin with. And combining it with my remaining cash stack, I'm a little over 430 mil now. Next up, let's have a look at the Dopamine tab. I've been catching a whole bunch of Dragon Implings lately. Normally I only manage to catch 1 or 2 when clan members call them out for me, but I've randomly spotted a bunch of them myself this past month or so, whilst on herb runs or juggling clues in the crafting guild. And speaking of which, I'm still getting loads of clues from Karambwans, and I finally hit the 1000 milestone for beginners. I figure that's probably enough to greenlog them and to unlock the emote, so I'm not gonna bother doing any more of them. The other stacks have gone up quite a lot too, and if I close the bank tab for a second, you'll see I have even more on the floor as well. If you ever want to farm a bunch of clues whilst AFK, I can highly recommend Karambwans. Which, is worth noting, I've caught over 350,000 of them. So I'm basically over 1/3 of the way to banking 200 mil cooking. So yeah, that's what I've been up to for the past month. Like I said earlier, I took a little bit of a break after getting married, but I'm back now and hoping to get some huge videos out fast for you. The next episode should be coming up on screen soon, as I want to quickly thank my channel members. Madman, Jonas, Siotos, Zisman and Henrik at the supporter tier, Amity and Misks at the patron tier, and a gigantic thank you as always to Dustis, I Am Chomp and Casp at the benefactor. Thank you guys so much.